Yo, what is up, Dog Squad? Trey60 back for another video on the channel today, Dog Squad. And today, we are going to be doing NFL Week 12 reactions here. Going to be reviewing all the games from the past week. I know this is later, but, you know, same as usual, just can only do it during the weekends because, well, you know why, if you've been on the channel long enough. But before we get into this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, so you don't miss one of my videos, be part of the Dog Squad. We got trying to be on the road to 800 subscribers, maybe by the end of the year, I don't know. But thank you all so much for 700 the other day. We're currently at 705 as of right now, so let's try to get closer. But now, without further ado, let's get right into this video, Dog Squad. They just be like that. The back hopefully gets one involved.
In the microwave, I close the door.
Alright, here we go. So the Packers taking on the Lions in the Thanksgiving game. This was the first out of 3 Thanksgiving games. For these, I'm going to make them short. I'm not going to talk about that long. I'm just going to make like my thoughts of the game. You know, what should have happened, what could have happened for each team, how they won, all that. Just my reflection off each of these games. That's what it is. Packers get the win 29-22. Lions, this is what's going to happen for them in the playoffs. They're just going to have games where they should have won, and they just, you know, couldn't. I know we have trouble in the playoffs, but the Lions do kind of worse than us. I mean, they had trouble winning the games at least. Packers, though, they seem to be better on a roll with Jordan Love. They seem to have a better, consistent offense. Now be able to take care of a great Lions defense. But they get the win 29-22. They go to 5-6. Lions go to 8-3 of the year. Alright, this was the Commanders-Cowboys game. My Dallas Cowboys get the win 45-10. We started off slow in the first half. Offense kept moving, but defense was struggling. But then we finally finished off. Deron Bland got his 5th pick six of the year, has broke the single season record with the most pick sixes. That's exactly what you can do as a team against a bad team. You got to be able to destroy them, take care of business, and do with that. That's all you can do. But Cowboys won that game. Alright, the last Thanksgiving game of the night was the 49ers taking on the Seahawks. Seahawks coming off just a, I think now a 2-game losing streak, but they now lose this game to make it 3, I believe. 49ers, they keep on rolling after a 3-game losing streak they had, and then they kept on winning and destroying teams. Seahawks tried to come back, but they couldn't. 49ers, man, they have a really good chance of going to the Super Bowl and maybe winning it. They have a very talented offense with McCaffrey and Purdy and Kittle and Samuel and Ayuk, and they've got a defense. After that Chase Young addition, they've just been red hot on their defensive side. Seahawks kind of need something going, and they also couldn't get it against Dallas, which we'll talk about later when it gets to Week 13 meeting room. Next week. And the reason I'm also doing this, watch the reactions to the meme room, because next week, since I'll be going to the Cowboys game, I only have time for a short and a video, not just 2 videos. So and plus it'll be 2 meeting rooms and 2 reaction videos for this entire weekly series. So I just want to make that clear. Alright, so this is the Black Friday game. The Miami Dolphins taking on the New York Jets. Miami just basically just took care of business that they needed to do. They've been able to have their offense still rolling with a lot of high points each game. They're kind of like the Cowboys. Now the Cowboys actually got a win over a winning team now. Dolphins have a chance at it in a couple of weeks. Jets, though, they can't do anything without Aaron Rodgers. I'm sorry. When they had quarterback trouble, they kind of thought they weren't going to, but then we kind of thought the Jets were going to go to the playoffs maybe this year with Aaron Rodgers, but you know, it just doesn't happen. He was back at practice, but I don't really think he should start trying to play. But he said they make the postseason. If they don't make the postseason,
away is Hill. He makes the grab.
The Miami Dolphins put on high points, but yet they still have to be able to play in the big games.
This one. Meanwhile, here's Wilson.
We got them there in the season.
To the 30.
This was the first Sunday game at noon. The Saints taking on the Falcons. Falcons got the W. Saints still kept trying to hold on that playoff spot, but now Falcons took the division as of right now. Desmond Ridder actually had a good day. Derek Carr, I think it may be his time to go in the NFL. He still can't have the best season. Kind of turned around the Saints a little bit, but still, Saints still having trouble. You know, you kind of thought they'd be much better this year. Falcons still trying to come back. Still trying to find their QB. Just a QB battle with both teams struggling at that part of the team and that position. Other than that, I just think this is both teams are just gonna have to. It's just fighting for the NFC South. I mean, not really much to it. Not much to it there as we can see, but that's really all I have to say about it. Just one of them's gonna have to win it. All right, Steelers and Bengals. Bengals just struggling. I think they might try to go for a top 10 pick, but we'll just see what happens with them. Steelers, maybe their offense is maybe getting a little bit better after the firing of Matt Canada. Kenny Pickett may be doing a little bit better against a team like the Bengals, but it's sad for them. Lost Joe Burrow, and Chase isn't as consistent and isn't getting the ball as much as we kind of thought he would this year. That Higgins got hurt, Tyler Boyd just not doing his best, and Mixon's basically still doing but he hadn't had the best season either. So Bengals are just kind of falling apart this year. Maybe they can get back on the road next year, but Steelers do get the win, so we can maybe see them in the playoffs. They're having a much better year, but maybe not the best of the 7-4 teams. So up, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars sitting at 8-3, taking on after the win at 8-3, taking on the Houston Texans after finishing 6-5. This was a good game, really good game. I like to see the Jaguars and the Texans both be actually good this year. Last year wasn't the best division, but this year actually partly is. I mean, you got the Colts that are doing really well, Texans that are doing really well, Jaguars. I mean, and the Titans sitting there, not that good. But we have to see C.J. Stroud is really putting up some good rookie numbers. He is really leading this team. Even though he fell short, he has really turned this team around, especially with Tank Dell, especially with DeMarco Ryan as their new head coach. The defense, though, has some problems. That's what kind of held them. They couldn't get the win against Jacksonville. I really think their offense produced a lot, but maybe not the whole time. Neither did Jacksonville, but couldn't hold Jacksonville's offense with Etienne and Lawrence, Christian. I mean, all of them, they defense just couldn't get it. But they did keep it short. It was a good fighting game between both teams. But Jaguars having a better year this year after coming off their divisional round loss last year. Having high hopes for the season. They weren't wrong. Now they can easily be one of a top team this year, be a top 4 team. If they can hold on to the division, which most likely it looks like they will, they've definitely got the team to go far in the playoffs this year. Definitely the offense and definitely that defense has gotten better throughout this season. I'd like to see more of the Jaguars, but the Texans, though, I'll keep cheering them on. Even though they're a Texas team, I'll keep cheering them on all this year. They've really turned stuff around after having a couple years of distraught. Jaguars get that win in a very close battle. Buccaneers taking on the Colts. Colts go to 6-5. Like I said earlier, Colts they're really producing. Even without Anthony Richardson, Gardner Minshew's getting it done for Indianapolis, and the Buccaneers. Yeah, I didn't think they'd do well. I had them up a 4-win team. They're already at 4, and it's not the end of the season. But, they just can't seem to find after the years with Tom Brady. Oh, well, I mean, it's like if I'm outlasted for a couple years, just now can't get the job done anymore. Baker Mayfield keeps getting swept off teams, can't get the team to victory after having a year with the Browns a few years ago. Then he tried going to the Panthers, nope. Rams, not really. No. But the Colts they have a chance at the division as well, but I don't think it'll happen. Jonathan Taylor now, I don't know if he's going to play again. He keeps getting hurt. He had surgery the other day, or he's having it at least, but we'll just have to see what happens with them. But if they keep giving the ball to Michael Pittman Jr., when Gardner Minshew keeps playing as a talented quarterback that can help, as a backup quarterback that can help the team, they should win games. If they can if Zach Moss can do well, taking over for Jonathan Taylor, even if he comes back, I think the Colts should be fine this year trying to head the playoffs. They're currently right now in the playoffs, but let's just see if they can keep that up. Okay, next up, this was definitely the game of the year. Definitely the game of the year. I'm just sorry. Patriots are terrible. They only get 7 points, and then they miss the kick to try to tie it. I'm sorry. They just suck. And Giants still could. I mean, the Giants are bad too. Tommy DeVito at least led them to victory, 2-1. in matchups that with teams that aren't that good. But, you know, he's putting up a good stats. He's pretty good for a undrafted quarterback that's from Italy. But, you know, we'll have to see. Giants are going to most likely be eliminated. They're not going to do really anything unless they have some streak where they go 9-8 or something with Tommy DeVito. That's got to be like a very historic moment for them. But Giants, they just played to their standard. That's just all you can say. They played to their standard against a very bad Patriots team. So, yeah, that's just how it is. The Giants do get the win, so that's what they wanted. 4-8 they go. Patriots still having trouble, 2-9. Another bad game. Panthers, they suck too. They're horrible. They're terrible. They can't do anything. Titans, they're playing like I said, to their standards. Playing against a team they were able to play, not lose it to a bad team. They were able to win this game, and maybe they'll give them high hopes for something. I mean, they still have a chance at the division, but the way they're playing against a really bad team, yeah, that's not really going to help. But maybe they'll find a team eventually. Will Levis is trying to keep this team in shape, trying to keep this team going. You know, Derrick Henry, I think there should be on another team. Defense is playing all right. I mean, it's not much going on with the Titans right now, and this game proves it right now. All right, now we head into the 3 o'clock, 3:05, 3:30 games. Rams take on the Cardinals. Rams should have definitely won this game, and they did. They blew out a bad team, which we lost to them. You know, we don't talk about that. But anyways, Rams have actually started to step it up with Matthew Stafford. He came back in. They're starting to connect it more. Cup's still not getting the balls quite much. The defense with Aaron Donald's rolling, but you got Higbee doing a little bit more now. Puka's actually getting the ball and producing more yards now. The Cardinals still can't find anything, but they're going to probably go on the top picks anyways. So I mean, it really won't matter for them. But we'll just see. I know the Bears will get that pick, and they'll probably get Caleb Williams. But the Cardinals still going to look for someone, and Rams still trying to fight for a playoff spot. And they still have a shot at it. They're starting to produce with wins against Seattle and Arizona against the division rivals. Cardinals maybe look for something with Kyler Murray. He's still trying to keep the team going, but, you know, and their coach is new, and yeah, it's not really going on for anything for them. But Rams get the job done, 37-14. They get a 5-6 and only 1 win away from .500 record. Okay, now we got the Cleveland Browns and the Denver Broncos. I have to say about this game, this was a game I think that the Browns could have done a bit better, honestly. It doesn't help that Deshaun Watson's out, but the Broncos, on the other hand, they're on a streak, they're on a roll. We're at home. It was not much the Browns could do. They're going to have to find a way to. They've now got Joe Flacco at quarterback now, starting this week. He's an old QB that won a Super Bowl with the Ravens. You know, he's not as good as it used to be. But he did kind of help the Jets a little bit. But I think if they can handle LA this week, it's going to be tough for them. But the Browns, they have a good shot at maybe doing well in the playoffs if they can get their team a little bit more consistent and healthy. That's a big factor, healthy, especially after losing Nick Chubb and kind of Amari Cooper. You know, that's going to be got to keep this team healthy. That's what some of their losses have been from. The Broncos, though, they keep playing like this. Russell Wilson could be an MVP candidate. They have really changed things around. Sean Payton has really helped this team. You know, they kind of thought they weren't going to go really anywhere this year, but then they have not lost since that Thursday Night Football Kansas City game. That's pretty good for them. Hats off to them. I'll be cheering them all year. That's just remarkable. I'm really hoping they can go far, maybe go to the playoffs this year. But both teams, it's good turnaround seasons for them. Hopefully, hope can keep going. Browns stay healthy. Broncos play consistent, and maybe they'll be able to see each other in the playoffs again. But you know, Broncos do get the win, 6-5. Cleveland Browns still at 7-4. So, yeah. Here we go with the Bills taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. This is a really good game. The Bills gave them a contest. They took the contest. I think Eagles should have done better, but they found a way to win. Sadly. Kind of thought the Bills would beat them, help our NFC East playoff chances. I know a lot of people are saying the refs are helping them, and I think the Eagles definitely do have some calls these entire games. I think that are very questionable. But on the other hand, the Eagles were able to just find a win. That's how Jalen Hurts was able to move and use his weapons right, run the ball in the end zone, get the TD. Bills, Josh Allen had a wonderful game. They fought really hard, just couldn't get the job done in the part that mattered most. I think it was Gabe Davis at the end. That should have been a TD, but you had a kick. Your defense couldn't do anything. That just happens. But it's been a very close call. Some close calls for Philadelphia this year. They're going to eventually lose, and I think San Francisco will be the one that does that. And then they did lose, but I think they'll lose another one to San Fran or us. It could be both. Hopefully it's both, so we can maybe take the division for them. But, you know, that will depend on something. But Philadelphia does escape with a win against Buffalo. In that football game, Ravens taking on the Chargers. I kind of thought they'd lose by 3 or less, but, you know, they didn't. They got into themselves another game situation. They couldn't do it. They're just getting too close. Chargers, man, oh man. They should be better this year, but nope, they can't do it. I think we had some trouble with some game-winning drives last year with Kellen Moore. Nope, didn't work out. Ravens, though, keep on pounding, keep on moving towards that number 1 spot in the AFC and their division. Most likely they'll grab it. But they are some tight neck battles with some teams. Bengals probably won't get it anymore. But hey, Chargers, they're not gonna get. They can't do this in the playoffs, and I don't even think they will make it. They can't do this in their path to the playoffs either. So probably won't happen. But Lamar Jackson playing outstanding football as well with Zay Flowers as well. Odell Beckham's getting the ball more. Their defense seems to be playing much better. Chargers seem to can't do anything, though, even though Justin Herbert, I think, should be on a better team. I think he deserves better, and maybe they need to fire Staley. So this is the last game of Week 12, Monday Night Football game between the Bears and the Vikings. Vikings should have gotten this win. Josh Dobbs just kept on throwing picks and got good at the game. Their offense didn't play well. They couldn't do anything on defense. They stopped them for field goals, but it wasn't enough when their offense couldn't do a thing. Couldn't do a thing against Chicago, and they had to have help. Couldn't stop them on that final drive, and they just weren't playing like a good Vikings team. Kind of thought they were going to keep winning, but then now they've lost 2. But they'll step it up, and they've still in the playoffs as of right now. So just Josh Dobbs, play better these next games, you can win those. But that will do it for today, Dog Squad. Thank you so much for watching this video. Remember, this is a Saturday right now, and then later tonight I will have the video for the for reviewing and reacting to the Cowboys Seahawks NFL highlights video and the NFL predictions. So I don't have time, so it'll just be a short this week. I'm sorry, I felt sick last night, so I didn't have anything I could have done about that. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next video. Enjoy Week 13 Sunday tomorrow. I'll see you next time.